Welcome to another episode of Moonshots. As you know, every week we bring amazing guests with great moonshots of their own, but more importantly, giving you the inspiration and giving you the tools to achieve your moonshot. And this week I have a special guest, Reena, with me. So Reena, what is your moonshot?
Naveen, thank you so much, first of all, for having me here today. Thrilled to be here with you. It's truly an honor. So my moonshot is to create a world with health, no chronic disease. So that's the path I'm on. Now, I want to create a world...
that's a trademark line, right? Creating a world where illness is optional is completely
that's
trademarked.
That's yours. Mine is ending chronic disease. Totally different, Naveen.
Yeah, 6.5 a dozen, totally different.
Totally different.
Okay.
Well, that's how we met, right? That's why I'm here, because I think you and I are on the same path, on the same mission. I want my grandkids to say, there used to be something called cancer. I haven't met anybody with cancer lately. Or there's no diabetes. It's in books. We study about it. Mm-hmm. And Naveen, it's doable. Yeah, it's doable in our lifetime.
So if this is so doable, Reena, then why is it the billions of us are suffering from it? We are spending trillions of dollars. There are millions of doctors. There are billions in research. And here we are, this epidemic of chronic diseases, right?
Yes.
So somehow there seems to be just no cure. And we are absolutely being told the best you can do is to manage them, but no, there is no cure for them. So why is it?
We have completely misunderstood the problem.
All right, let's go ahead.
We don't have a healthcare crisis. You know, Naveen, we keep trying to solve the care problem.
Yeah.
We have a health crisis. So, we have got to get people to get healthier. And the care problem solves itself. So the reason we keep spending billions on research, etc., it's because we're trying to kill disease, right? We're trying to defeat diabetes and kill cancer. Having recovered from 2 huge illnesses.
Are you going to talk about them?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we've got it all wrong. To me, we have to light health and disease will disappear. We are approaching the problem the wrong way. And, you know, you said this on my podcast. You said when you're an outsider, you can see it more clearly. I think the insiders are seeing it very differently because that's what they do. They're not understanding that when you step away from the problem and you look at the crisis we're in orthogonally, you realize it's a health crisis. And my perspective is when you walk into a dark room, you don't fight darkness. You don't say, I'm here to fight you, darkness. No, you put on the light. And there's light and darkness disappears. We need to create health.
So how do we create health, Reena?
So I had this huge crisis, right? I had 28 symptoms. September 2016, my life fell apart.
Tell me what happened.
So conventional medicine couldn't figure it out. So September 2016, I went from dancing on a table in Cabo to waking up in the middle of the night.
And you can still dance on the table, right?
I'm still dancing on tables.
Okay.
I should say I'm back to dancing on tables. But I went from a very healthy, fit person to 28 symptoms, and nobody could figure it out. So I spent almost 3 months at the Palo Alto Medical System, 18 specialists, every test imaginable. And finally, in February of 2017, they said, we don't know really what's wrong with you. So here's what we think. We think you're probably depressed. So we're going to give you antidepressants. Something's wrong with you. So we're going to give you prednisone because that's going to just calm you down, right? Whatever's going on, we're going to figure this out. And you may be anorexic. I mean, this is why you're losing weight because, Naveen, in the 28 symptoms, the worst was I was down to 90 pounds.
Oh, my God.
And so at 90 pounds, you're basically dying, right? You know, I'm 5'7", you're basically dying. And so I came home and I made the decision, and this is where, how are we going to healthify the world? Yeah. The first thing people need to do is they need to decide. They need to change the narrative of who they are. I decided I was not going to be sick. It didn't matter what anybody said to me. I was going to choose health, and I was going to figure it out.
So how did you do that?
So I took an 18-month journey. Incredible. I saw from, you know, Ayurvedic to functional medicine to Reiki to shamans to Chinese medicine.
And of course, Vyom.
Vyom was a critical part of it, And this picture emerged that I had severe mitochondrial dysfunction. And that had been created by a bug that I had picked up in Cabo. And that as it went into different organs, it was laying eggs and basically creating complete havoc. And, I just interviewed Dr. Chang about mitochondrial dysfunction. So the gist of it was my body was shutting down, my organs were shutting down. So when you are that sick, how do you get out of it?
So what did you do?
And this was my insight. I overwhelmed my body with health, and I did it across 7 dimensions.
Okay.
So I think, again, we've misunderstood health.
So we're going to talk about those 7 dimensions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go.
So we've been told, hey, if you just fix your diet, like if you just did keto, you're healthy.
But first of all, keto is not good for everyone, right? So,
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. That's the bigger crisis we have, right? We tell people, oh, take keto and you'll be fine.
Or what about the fat diet
vegan.
Exactly. Or the raw plant
or
food.
The raw
or paleo diet. It's all whatever is good for you.
Exactly. And that's the first myth. The first myth is that what works for Naveen is going to work for me.
It doesn't happen that way.
It's never going to work. My blueprint's my blueprint. And I have to figure out, I have to do the hard work of figuring out my blueprint. So the first thing is there's 7 dimensions. And to me, it's a pyramid.
So let's go with the one.
And it's not random. So the base of the pyramid is calm.
Okay, so what do you do there?
The first most important thing, if anybody wants to get healthy, the first most important thing is to get into a heal zone mentally, which means you've got to get to calm.
So how do you do that?
So I wrote an ebook on this, and there's, everyone.
Where do you find this ebook?
Now, it's on my website, healcircles.org. So we are a foundation. It's nonprofit.
So let's go ahead. So go to healcircle.org and download that ebook.
Yes.
And what is it going to teach us?
Yes. So in calm, again, you have to figure out what makes you calm.
Okay.
My meditation mantra might freak you out. It may not calm you down. And so what I say to first people is, first figure out, why are you distressed? Okay. You've got to understand. You got to write it down. What's bugging you? Is it the promotion? Is it your pay? Is it your spouse? Are your children? Are you overworked? What is it? Make a list.
Okay.
Then you've got to do breathing.
What if it's just you?
You got to breathe.
No. What if it's you that's stressing you out?
Even if it's you.
Then what do you do then?
Then you acknowledge.
Yeah.
I hate me.
Or I love me.
And I'm going to figure out how to love me, right? First, you acknowledge. All change begins with acknowledgement. You got to start with acknowledgement. So if you hate some part of you and it's bugging you and it's creating stress, I'll give you a real example. You say it's just, I'm saying for real.
Sure.
There are women who don't like how they look. And they look in the mirror and it stresses them out because they look a certain way. Maybe they're 50 pounds overweight.
Or maybe they're absolutely perfect.
And they're perfect. But they don't see it. And so the first thing to do is just to acknowledge that I feel a certain way. And now I'm going to change that. So step 1 is you've got to get to calm. You've got to breathe. You've got to get out.
So first thing is
take
calm.
A walk.
So I got that thing. So I want to be calm now.
You've got to be calm. So once you're calm.
Number 2.
And a lot of being calm also is letting go. You can't be calm if you're trying to control everything in life. So you let go, and there's breathing, there's techniques, etc. You can find that on healcircle.org. Next thing is you've got to sleep.
Okay.
Naveen, nobody can heal without proper sleep. So you got to fix your quality and your quantity. And again, there's a lot of tips that I give. For me, I would do a magnesium salt bath every night. I did it for 18 months.
Okay.
Because whatever was deficient and the warmth and the self-massage, like a baby, I would then get to sleep. And I was in bed at 10 o'clock at night.
That's too late.
10 o'clock at night is good enough from an Ayurvedic standpoint.
I get to bed at 9, I get up at 4.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, because you wake up at 4.
Yeah.
So I was doing the 10 to 5.
Okay.
See, you're already healthier than the rest of the world because you're sleeping at 9.
Oh.
Most of us sleep around midnight, right?
Oh,
That's the stat. So if you're sleeping at midnight, you've already lost 3 to 4 hours of healing. So number 2, if you've got diabetes, cancer, whatever, you have to be in bed and you've got to be asleep. Next is nutrients.
Is there something about getting up a certain time before sunlight or something?
You're going back into our tradition, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, there is a magical time, which is 3:30 to 4. There is so much power in nature to heal us, Naveen. We don't leverage it. We're looking for cures in a pill. We think pills are going to heal us. No, the answer is in the plants. It's in the sunlight. And there's science to this. And, sometimes we look at our old traditions and we don't realize there was so much science there. It's just that science has not yet been discovered or created by Western medicine, but it's the science of how the sunlight interacts with the morning air and how it creates health. So when you're breathing in that oxygen, that supercharged oxygen in the morning, it's waking up every cell. It's restructuring
and you do the sun
water.
Salutation then, right?
And you do the sun salutation in the morning.
Yeah.
And it realigns your entire body and it realigns your chakras. And it creates a bright new day like never before. Versus you wake up 5 minutes behind time, you run downstairs, you drop your coffee mug on your feet, your child's crying, you're eating breakfast in your car. There's no health in that.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how you create health. The third step of my pyramid is nutrients. We've confused diet with nutrients. I think if you're sick, you've got chronic disease, you've got to prioritize nutrients over diet. So what do I mean by nutrients? For me, if I hadn't taken glutathione shots and moringa powder and neem, I wouldn't be here today.
Sure.
So to me,
I mean, they're all antibacterial. Neem is antibacterial. Glutathione fixes your gut lining.
Exactly. So you've got to understand that when you're diseased, you didn't get there overnight. You know, you took 8 to 10 years to get there. In order to recover, you got to overwhelm your body with health. So the third piece of the puzzle really is the nutrients. And again, we talk a lot about that. Next is joy.
Okay.
And joy really comes from community and contribution. And a lot of people who are sick, when you dive deeper, and I talk to them every day, we get people who come into Heal Circles, they're not feeling wanted. They don't have joy in their lives. They feel like they wake up stressed and they go to sleep stressed.
But don't you feel the first thing the joy comes is being yourself and loving yourself? That's the best joy you can get.
Definitely.
Then other people may actually want to be with you.
Oh my God, it is so true. And there's a beautiful, beautiful exercise that Louise Hayes used to say, which I did all 18 months.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do, Naveen, and I'm going to challenge you to do this from tomorrow.
Let's go.
So you look in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth.
Yes.
And you look in your eyes, your own eyes, which already is very hard for most of us
So I'm going to look in your eyes, my eyes.
Yes. I'm a reflection of you.
Okay.
And you say to yourself,
yes,
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm going to be kind to you today.
Yeah.
I'm going to be gentle to you today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take care of you today the way I've never taken care of anybody else. You are the most important person in my life.
Amazing.
And when you start your day with that promise to yourself, you don't let anyone abuse you, you not even yourself.
Or you don't abuse
better,
anyone. Yeah.
Right? You eat better because you just made a promise to yourself. You said, I will take care of you better than anybody else out there. I love you. You're it. Like, you're all I got. And most people don't understand that we are all so mean to ourselves. In fact, one of the things I did was I created a health journal.
Yeah.
And in the journal, every day you got to do a little writing, right? How was your day, your mood, your meds? And that was my first aha, I'm so mean to myself. I push myself so hard.
What do you mean, girl?
I'm nicer to my enemies than I am to myself. Why is that? Because we're a society where we push ourselves. Us type A's, we sacrifice our well-being for everything else. And so taking charge, and that's really that part about joy, is you make a promise to yourself.
So let's
in the
start
morning.
again. So what the first thing was?
Calm.
So first we get yourself calm.
Right?
Then you
get into sleep. You fix your sleep.
Okay.
You make this promise to yourself that you're going to take care of yourself and you're going to be joyful and you're going to maybe sing a song.
Oh, you forgot the number 3, the nutrition.
The nutrients.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
The nutrients.
Yeah.
Yes. That means listening. Yeah. And then you get into joy.
Okay.
And then the next 3, so this is what I call the base of my pyramid, right?
Okay.
Then we've got the top 3 on top.
Okay, go.
And that's your movement,
Yeah.
your detox, and your diet. And to me, the diet is the last because, Naveen, I could eat as much kale as I want.
So what's the difference between a diet and a nutrients?
I could eat, there are people today that we know, like Warren Buffett, he eats burgers, he eats McDonald's. How is he so healthy? But
what makes you think that he's healthy?
Based on kind of the statistics out there in terms of he's a healthy guy to some extent.
Yeah, the 12-pack ab.
He doesn't have
That's the one I was looking for. Yeah.
But there are people who get to 100 and you interview them and they're like, well, I drank wine every night and I had pasta and that's how, Sophia Loren, right? There's all these examples and people go, see, she smokes and she lives to 90. there are people, diet is very important, but nutrients are the fuel. And that's why I separate the two.
Okay.
Because, Naveen, we live in the real world.
Okay.
Like, I want to have a burger.
What makes you think we live in the real
while.
world? I thought we could be living in a virtual world.
We do live in a virtual world.
So, but that's my point.
We could be.
So we don't have to be real world. We could all be aliens or we could all be virtual, the avatars.
See, now you're coming into my world.
Okay, forget that
This
word.
is not a real world.
Okay.
As I tell my children, I freak them out all day long. My 20-year-old goes, Mom.
You cannot have a 20-year-old.
I have a 20-year-old. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And a 15-year-old.
Okay.
This world is not real. We make it what it is. And that's why when we say we can get there with health, whatever we believe happens. If you believe you're healthy, you'll manifest health. You believe you're sick, you will get sick.
Okay, let's go back
to my pyramid.
Pyramid again. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we got it right.
My next three.
Calm.
Yes.
Okay.
Calm, sleep, nutrients, joy.
Next three.
Now the next three is, the first one is movement.
Okay, so what do we do there?
So for movement, here's the key, right? They say that the ending of our organs are in our feet, and that when you walk, you are actually massaging them. And
so you need to be barefoot? They have to be barefoot?
Actually, barefoot is the best. It's called grounding. It comes out of Japan.
Okay.
And there's a lot of science that when you have negative ions, you are actually recharging your body, because we are electric fields.
So interestingly, we have the most amount of sensors in our palm, and we have in our feet.
Yes.
So what if we go four-legged?
It works for some people. Some people love doing it. I think this is why in the olden cultures, rubbing your hands is a big part of it. Clapping, right? Clapping massages. So much of what we did in the laundry. Think of the motions that we used to use our hands so much, our palms. Dishes. We don't do that anymore. We don't engage.
I don't know what world you live in. I do dishes every day.
Is it really? If I ask her, is that what she's going to say?
I'm living in a virtual world. In my world, I do dishes every day.
All day long. You're doing dishes right now. I just don't see it.
Okay. So we got the movement part.
So you got to move, and you got to move. I think it is unnatural to sit like this. In fact,
how would you naturally sit?
No, you need to move.
Oh, okay.
We need to be moving. We need to be dancing. Dancing is the most amazing form of creation of health, because you're moving, you're vibrating, you're raising your consciousness, you're electrifying yourself, and you're moving energy into parts of your body that need it. We need the circulation. So walking is a no-brainer. Standing up, and in my ebook, we give lots of examples. Like if you're not someone who goes out of the house, here's the things you can do. Walk and talk. Talk to your friends? Great. You want to watch something on your little cell phone like you like watching soapies? Great. Walk and watch. Get movement in, get up and sit down, find reasons, put in alarms, but figure out how you're moving. And we talk about 10,000 steps. I challenge people, make it 14,000 steps.
Wow.
Why 10,000? Where did we come up? I finish 10,000 typically by 9 a.m. I'm done with 10,000.
Really?
I get up in the morning.
I get to 1,000 by the time I get to sleep.
1,000?
Yeah.
We got to get you to move,
Naveen. I know.
We got to get you to move. My mornings are, even if I'm on vacation, even if I'm in Chicago packing my child and getting her ready for dorm, I get up in the morning and I meditate first. And I do it's a 22-minute meditation. And then I literally put on my shoes and I go for a walk. And in my walk, I catch up on my email. So that's what I do. Now, it was a little uncomfortable at first, right? Like you're walking and you're doing this. I got over it. You figure it out, right? But by the time I've walked a full 4.8 mile loop, I'm done. I'm kind of caught up. And then I continue. I do all my podcast interviews standing up.
Yeah.
And then if I have another coaching, I'm involved in a couple of incubators. I coach startups. I do a bunch of other stuff. I will walk and coach.
Wow.
And so on healcircles.org, I'll often share like, hey, I got a 24,000 steps today. So I challenge people, like, do more. Don't think 10,000s that, do more walking. So walking is the next. Movement, actually. It's not walking, it's movement.
And the next?
And then you got to detox.
Okay.
Now, 2 decades ago, Naveen, detox would not have been on my pyramid.
So tell me what
But
detox.
it is today. Because 88,000 new chemicals added in the last decade
So how do you
alone.
detox?
So detox, our bodies they don't recognize these ingredients. So there's several things you can do. You can obviously sweat more.
Okay.
You can take some simple things like milk thistle. You can do dry brushing, which gets your lymph moving. You can do jumping. There's a simple thing. You get a little...
But that's not a detox, is it?
It does. It moves your lymph.
Okay.
And when you jump up and down, you move your lymph, and that allows your body to detox a lot faster.
So it's not like taking some bunch of more chemicals in your body.
No.
Okay, that's not... So you're not talking about that detox, right?
No.
So a lot of people think they can take a whole bunch of things,
Exactly.
and chemicals to get rid of more chemicals by putting more chemicals.
You raise a very important point. We have made patients into profit.
Yeah.
I look at a person and I go, how can I make more money off of this person? And that was my first realization.
How did we get there?
I think we got there because we decided that money was more important than anything else.
Really? Do you believe that humans are like that?
We have created that as a culture. We humans create the culture around us. And I think one of the things that was the strength of America, which is why a lot of us came here, was it was a land of opportunity. That it didn't matter where we started. We could have our moonshot, right? You and I are so blessed that we had this opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
But I think we have taken that to such an extreme where we're making money off of sick people. And I think that's where I have drawn the line.
I really don't think we start out ever as that mean person that I'm good, right?
We
so
don't.
I think somewhere along the lines, a system becomes an organism, and the survival of the organism that really takes over. So this medical industrial complex was created to essentially help people. But over time, it has become a profit-making machine where everyone makes money when you're sick and no one makes money when you're healthy. So we have essentially said, let's make sure we don't spend our resources curing people. Let's start spending our resources managing the disease. That means now we are in the care system, the health and a care part. And that's how we're going to make money, right?
Exactly.
So we decided, obviously that is not a way we are going to live our life. You cured yourself. Obviously, having through all of those massive amount of symptoms, you cured yourself. And now you're dedicating your life to helping everyone else cure themselves. I started this journey to help 1 billion people not to be sick or to reverse their chronic diseases. So, that's how we met. I was on your podcast. That's how we met, right? So how are you going about that journey? And how are the people listening?
Yes, that's such a great question. So I set up healcircles.org as a nonprofit, 501c3, to the point where I don't even take a cent for the podcast. We have no sponsors on the podcast. We take no referral fees. We take no sponsorship fees, because to me, the moment I take one penny, I have already begun to give in to that slippery slope.
Yeah, beholden to them.
I'm beholden. I have to promote them. So I wanted to create a pure model that Heal Circles is about truly creating health.
By the way, it's a moonshot. There are absolutely no sponsors. You know that, right?
Exactly. Because this is your contribution to society. And this is a promise I made to a doctor who was step one in my healing. I said, if I ever get back to health, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the rest of my life, because nobody should be this sick. So your question, well, how am I going about doing this? 3 things. There's a false narrative, Naveen, that we are fed, right? We are told, number one, that aging brings disease. You get older, you get sick.
That's just not true.
Not true. Number 2, the cure is in the pill. Like, just take this pill. I'm going to give you these prescriptions. You're going to be totally fine. Not true. And the third, I think we must understand that health comes in a process, a journey. Health is not a state, a single moment in time. It's a journey, and we've not been told that. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and it's in our hands. We've not been told that. We've been told that it's your genetics. We blame our grandma. Grandma gave me diabetes. No, epigenetics proves less than 10% of diabetes is genetic. So my mission is this. Number 1, I want to convince 1 billion people, using your billion number, I'll be happy with 100 million, that their health is in their hands and that they 100% can get it back.
So being healthy is a choice, just like I say being sick is a choice.
And you get up in the morning and you change your narrative. You get up in the morning and you say, I'm Reena Jadhav and I'm not sick.
Or now, I'm not going to be sick.
And I want to change even that. I want to say I'm not sick, because remember, multidimensional. We are in multi-universe. There is a universe, there is a dimension where I'm not sick. And that's who I'm choosing to be. I'm not sick. And you know what? Now I just have to figure out how to make that real.
Sure.
So that's what I did. I would wake up in the morning and I would do this chant. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. I'm healthy. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. I'm healthy. And you reprogram your narrative because most people don't believe that. So that's number one. Number two,
Do you have to just chant or do you have to actually believe in it?
you have to believe.
Okay.
But the way you believe, the mind is just a muscle.
Yeah.
And that's how you program your muscle. You repeat over and over and over. And at some point you go, I'm healthy. Who says I'm not? I'm totally healthy. You are reprogramming yourself.
Okay.
Number two, once you've decided this is it, I'm healthy, we have to connect you with the right programs, and we got to make it so easy because nobody wants to do this the hard way. So we've created free programs with like Dr. Joel Kahn, who's America's leading cardiologist. How can you get back to no heart disease following these simple steps, right? Meal plans, recipes, meditations, workouts, supplements, tests, whatever you need, free programs.
Yep.
So Heal Circles connects you with online programs that are free and that some are paid, but gives you that connection with leading MDs. So that was the next part of it. We're going to connect you with no excuse so you can do this. Last, you don't heal in a vacuum. You heal with people.
Yep.
You got to have a community. So that's what we did. We created the first social network for health.
Yeah.
So Facebook is where you show how pretty you are, right? And Heal Circles is where you talk about your poop.
What about Instagram? I thought Instagram was...
And Instagram is where you, right? It's like, look at me. And then Heal Circles is where you go and you talk about,
So Facebook is about
look
brag.
at me.
Yeah, so Facebook is about brag book. Right?
Yes, that's exactly it. That's the brag book, and this is the health book.
Okay.
So Heal Circles is where you can join anonymously. You can ask your questions. You can get support. You can share your journey. You can do journaling every day. You can post things. You can connect with people. That's what my mission is. So those are the three things that we're doing right now to get people back to health.
Well, Reena, this has been just absolutely amazing. We are getting to this end of this podcast. As you know, every week I say the same thing. 30 minutes is too short.
Yes.
And I wish I could just talk for another hour with you.
Yes.
And you have so much information. So here's what I would love to do. I want you to just look at the camera and to the audience and give them what are the last parting words. What is it you want to take away from this podcast?
Well, the first thing I want you to know is that there is an incredibly healthy person inside you. So if you have been diagnosed with diabetes or heart disease or autoimmune, or you've got these symptoms that no one can figure out, just know that that's all reversible. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Number one, believe that you can be healthy. Number two, check out healcircles.org. We've got programs. If not us, find somebody else. Reach out to your local community. There are so many programs out there where you can connect, but don't just give up. And finally, number three, you must stay smiling, because when you smile and when you laugh and when you find beauty around you, you begin to create health. As I say, health is a journey. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice we make every single morning. So every single morning when you wake up, look in the mirror, brush your teeth and say, today I choose health. And you know what? It's going to follow. You'll find health.
Reena, the last thing, how can people find you? And where can people find you?
Healcircles.org or healcircle.org. So plural or single.
Perfect. Reena, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Naveen.
Thank you.
Thank you.